Alright, hi there YouTube land. What we're going to talk about today is the Swedish SVEA / Trangea military alcohol burning stove. Let me get that back so I don't set it on fire. These are very similar to a product that's still being made today by Trangea. They make two sizes of them. The difference between these and the ones that are currently being produced is their size. They're a little larger. They don't come with a simmer ring, which most of the Trangea stoves now do, and the Chinese copies of them. Other than that, they're basically identical in function. Some people say that the newer Trangea ones burn a little hotter. Yeah, I don't know if that's true or not. These are very high quality stoves. They're a little thicker. I think the brass is a little thicker gauge than the civilian ones they're making now, the Trangea Mini. They're a little heavier. These come in empty at a little over 6 ounces. They hold a lot of fuel. They'll actually cook, boil water several times, cook a couple of meals, being full of fuel. Once the lid's, it's cooled down, the lid's screwed on, it doesn't seem to lose any fuel in transport or evaporation, so you can actually store fuel in the stove. Some of the stuff that's commonly encountered with these are these spirit bottles that are Swede marked, and these Windscreen / pot stands that are also SVEA marked. These are marked NC 68, as are the stoves on the bottom. They have the SVEA mark, the Swedish Crown, and NC 68. There's other models of these. They're all, to me, I've seen a few of them, handled a few of them. They all look identical to me. They just have a different marking on them, which probably indicates a date. Like I said, there's no simmer ring on these. Two parts basically. You get stove, pour fluid in it, and you get the lid, which fits very tight, has an O-ring in place, which when you use this as a snuffer, you need to take the O-ring out of it, snuff it, let it cool, put the O-ring back in, and then tighten it all up. I'll show you how. I'll put that to the side, and right at the end of the video, I'll turn out the lights and we'll show that burning in the dark. Take a closer look at the pot stand. Windscreen has little wire risers in the bottom of it here for the pot to go on, and I'll show you that in a second. Stove sits in the bottom like that. Like so. And I'll also show you an alternate way to use these as well. Get the stove to sit in there. Now here's what the cook kit that came with this lot that I got. It's very similar to the original Swedish cook set, almost identical, with a few minor differences and one major difference. The major difference is this is made out of aluminum. These are East German, but as far as the size and the parts inside, it's almost identical to the Swedish one. These weigh about 1 pound, whereas the Swedish one weighs over 2 pounds in stainless steel. So, show you how this works here. It's got a top cover that can be used as a lid or a separate pot. An inner cover that can also be used as a lid or a separate pot. Markings denoting liters. That's about it on that. These, show you, these sit down in the stove on the little wire risers in there to give it some airspace, like so. Now, one of the problems with using these, put it back together, using these German kits with the SVEA Swedish burners is they don't nest exactly right. The Swedish one will drop in there, and then this will clip over the bottom of it, but you can see that this handle is a little bit different shape, and there's nowhere for it to go into there, where you can see it. So here's what the solution to that is. This is just a little kit I made up for myself. This whole kit right here I've got with the pack, weighs about 2 pounds 2 ounces, so it's pretty light for a, you know, a cheap setup. It's not titanium or anything. So what you do here, and I've got my bottle and my plenty of room in there for the bottle and the stove, plenty of room for condiments here, so kind of a great way to carry these. What you do is you just cut out the bottom of that pot stand windscreen so that this handle will have a place to go, and then it nests properly. And you can also use this little metal loop here to run a strap through there, tighten it all down to keep it from rattling. It does rattle a little bit if it's not tightened down, and I'm not trying to sneak up on anybody, so I don't really care. But that's the way you do that to make these work properly. That's the conversion for the East German. The Swedish sets are nice. I've had them in the past, but boy, they are heavy. It's real thick. They're real thick. Stainless steel, real heavy gauge. These are much lighter and do exactly the same thing. The Swedish ones do have a hook on top. You can add that. You can put a hook on your bail, on your handle here. I mean, these are a lot thinner, a little bit crankier to use compared to the Swedish ones. You know, it's East German, it's a communist country, you know, what can you expect? But they're fully functional and obviously meant to go with a burner like this and a windscreen like that. They're obviously meant for a system like this. And they're often encountered together. I bought several sets of these, and these are the pots that came with it. Now I've had to do the alteration to that to get it to fit down in there correctly. Another thing I can show you on these, you can stand show you in there, you can stand those up, take one of the stoves, it'll sit on there fine, and another pot of a different shape that's not going to drop down in there can be used now. You can use it as an alternate type arrangement for another cooking vessel that doesn't exactly fit on there and drop down in there. Then it'll stay like that fine. These things have a little tension to them and it's not going to go anywhere, and that works fine as well. Let me shut off the lights here and show you the kind of the performance of these little alcohol stove. It's pretty good. They work great. They last forever. Another complaint that people have with the modern Trangias is with the thinner gauge brass. If you let it burn itself empty, it will overheat and almost always crack. Which they'll still work for a while with the cracks in them. I've had several lots of these in the distant past, and I got 8 of these stoves in this lot that I just got, and none of them have any cracking on them. I don't know if they've been burned a lot, but I've been using one quite a bit here the last couple of days and no signs of any kind of cracking, but I try not to let them burn empty. But these are definitely more robust and less prone to getting the cracks. The lids also crack if they're put on hot on the modern ones, if they overheat it. Let me turn the lights out real quick in here and just kind of give you an idea how well that burns. Shut this off. These will boil water. They'll boil a liter of water in 10 minutes, you know, something like that. So that's fine. And there's enough between this bottle and the alcohol that you can store in there that you can cook on that for a week. So that's it. That's the show. That's the NC68 SVEA alcohol stove, the East German, cook set, and the stand, and kind of show you how to adapt those for your own use if you come across a set like this. All right, thanks for watching. Saul saying have a great day.